And for the longest, I didn't understand. Like, I knew this is where I wanted to end up, but I was trying to figure out in what way, and I needed some point of reference, and I couldn't find that point of reference that I was looking for. And then all all ideas internally come from something. It came from something that made you feel like that. So I really thought about it. I really looked back in my childhood. And I remember growing up in the church. We would have an anniversary every year for the church, and it was a huge thing. And what I remembered about it was the community and the aesthetics of it. If it was the church's 44th anniversary, we'd get a theme and the color would be red. And everything was red. We'd have a sign and it'd go across the church, say happy 45th, and the sign would be red. And there would be people, because this is a place of community. Let me backtrack. What I love about church is the community. That's what I always remember about church. Religion, whatever your belief is, your belief. I'm not here to argue the nuance of religion with you. But if you can separate that and just look at it for the communal aspect, it's amazing. All these people that live in these different places, but every Sunday they gather in this one place, and it's communal. I knew everybody in the church. You would see him in the town. I'd see him at school and in the mall, and you'd see him wherever, and you'd go, oh, those are the people from my church. It's a home. It's a family. That's the true essence of it. So when we would have these anniversaries, everybody contributed. Everybody had a 9 to 5 that they would work throughout the week, and you would bring your skills into the community. It was a communal spot. If you liked to do flowers, if you were a florist, when the anniversary came, you did all the flowers. And the church would match. If the theme was red, all the flowers would be red in the church. They would literally come in and do all of them. You would cook for the anniversary. All the tablecloths, red. All the napkins, plates, cups, red. It would belong to the aesthetic. If you were into design, we change all the banners and things to red. If you sang in the choir's uniform was red. And the next year it could be green, and everybody could be green. It didn't matter. It would change every year. But I remember my mom, I have vivid memories of my mom, going to the city to have to go get some obscure purple dress because it was the theme and you had to be on theme. Everybody was on theme. And we'd have this big service. The booklets that we gave out would be in theme. It would match the color. Everything was about the aesthetic. Everything. The flowers that the women would wear, the buttons, the pins, it'd all be a part of it. And I always loved that continuity. I loved that everybody was on the same page. And people would live for the reunion. I was in the choir, and I was in the kids choir. I played the drums, and I would play the drums for the adults choir too. And I remember in rehearsal, we were very hard on the songs, and we would go hard with practicing because we wanted to do a good effort. Everybody brought their best for the anniversary. It was a big deal. Kids that would sing every once in a while that you didn't see, it didn't matter. For the reunion, everybody showed up for the anniversary because it was just a sense of community. It was a sense of belonging. You wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be a part of it. I didn't know anything about the religion. I was 7 years old. I couldn't remember anything about the Bible, but I remembered the aesthetic that stuck with me to this day. It was a sense of community. I felt like I belonged to something. We would have church from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It would be a big service. It would be basically a big party. And then afterwards, we'd go downstairs and we would eat. Everybody would, as a family, and everybody sit at the different tables. I would sit at the kids' table and we would hang out. And that's how I made my friends. All my friends were at the church, and you would pull up and we'd hang out, and the adults would stay inside and eat, and we'd go outside and play because there was a park behind us. And then at 4 o'clock, we'd have a second service, and a guest church would come. And the guest church would come and be in theme. They would find out what our theme was, and they would come accordingly in the right colors. There would be Every year there would be a scripture that was like the scripture, that was the tone of it. This is the theme. They would come, they would know our scripture, like they were ready, and they would fellowship with us. They would eat dinner with us. They would sing. They'd bring their own choir, and their choir would sound amazing. And then our choir would go next, and we try to outdo them, because you're not gonna get showing up at your own anniversary. But then afterwards, it was always all love, and that was how you connected with other people in the community. And it was a pride to it, because then you would go to other folks' anniversary and support them. And I realized I've been longing for that feeling of community for a long time now. I eventually left that community because I felt like I didn't really fit in. But since then, I've been looking for a community like that, and I haven't seen it anywhere. So now I'm gonna build it. Now at least I know where all of this comes from, and thus now it's easier to at least formalize ideas and articulate them to other people. I couldn't before. People would ask me like, hey, what is this thing? And I couldn't really explain it to them because I didn't know how to explain it to them. I just know how it made me feel. There was a feeling that it gave me, a sense of community. And that's what we will be. We are now that new community. And what's different about our community from anybody else's community is there's no requirement to be in it, because it's a lifestyle thing. It's just about being a good person and supporting other people and supporting their art, and just loving and being a part of something special. And who wouldn't want to be a part of that? When you see one of us, when you see us wearing the clothing, when you see the logo, you won't just see a bird, you won't just see a swan. You're gonna think of the people, you're gonna think of all of us. And you're gonna feel like you belong. Because you do. Everyone does. That's what Swan is. It's a community. It's a community of people with like-minded thoughts and morals. And all we're trying to do is love and have a good time and spread a good culture. And that's it. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's just us having a good time doing the shit that we want to do on our terms. Nobody's going to tell us what this is supposed to be. We get to decide what it is. Swan will always be about the people.
Can I have a sweet tea?
Pepsi?
Sweet tea?
Sweet tea?
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
Anything else, man?
No.
Bro, what? Nah. No, thank you.
Okay, first window, 1304.
Thank you very much. Bro, what is going on here, man? What is this?
It's for the documentary.
Yeah, man, you know, we had to get ourselves some Mickey D's, man, some goodies for our bellies. You can't write an album, you can't do none of this on an empty belly.